right, guys, we got Azael, El Perro, Rodriguez. How you doing, Azael?
I'm doing great, man. How's it going with you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. We're glad to have you here. I know you're getting ready for a welterweight championship match against Babyface.
Hell yeah.
So, Azael, how did you get into Power Slap?
So me and Power Slap, the way I got involved in it, I saw some clips from like the Russian leagues that they had going on back in 2021, 2022, but I never like dove into it much. It was just like kind of like a passing thing that was going through my TikToks or whatever, but it never crossed my mind. But then when Dana White announced it as something new that he was organizing, I was like, this could be something that I could do. And I ended up applying. 2 weeks later, they ended up calling me, and I've been at the top since then. So it was definitely something that was new to me, something that I didn't know if I was gonna actually be good at, just because you're actually just getting hit straight out without moving. So. Yeah, no, that's the a little bit of how I got into the sport.
You have a background in combat sports?
I trained most of my life growing up with boxing and Taekwondo. I never competed professionally or in amateurs. I just did mostly training, sparring, and then did just baseball. And I wrestled throughout my high school as well. So I kind of do have experience in combat, street fighting. Well, that was a big thing growing up. So uh, it's not a foreign thing for me to be getting hit in the face, so maybe that's why I'm good at this.
Grew up in Chula Vista?
I grew up in San Isidro, so super close to Chile. Are you familiar with San Diego?
I'm from Los Angeles, so I'm familiar with
Okay.
SoCal in general.
Heck yeah, yeah. Yeah, you kept saying Pacific time, so I was like, this guy must be from California.
Yeah. Where did
Nice.
the nickname El Perro come from?
So El Perro, so I've always been called El Perrito, which is the little dog. So when Power Slap asked me about my nickname, that's something that growing up, I grew up watching WWE, so watching the whole announcers calling out names and all that stuff. So watching boxing and everything, seeing everyone having a nickname, I wanted to come across something that kind of symbolizes me and my roots. Uh, in the Mexican culture, calling someone a perro, you're a perro means like you're a dog, you're fucking down. So it kind of all like came back together, especially being called perrito all my life. So then I just chose el perro, and it was something kind of that I was kind of doubtful just because not everyone could say perro. I didn't know if the community was going to accept it right away, but as soon as they announced el perro, it sounded perfect, and ever since then, everyone just every time they see me, they say perro, and I'm like, okay, it stuck.
Well, people don't have really a choice to accept it or not. When you're 7-2, you already made your name. You're
Yeah,
early in the game. They gotta
fuck yeah,
accept it
man.
now.
For sure, man, for sure.
I was watching your matches. You're very vocal after you deliver a good one. You're
Yeah, man. I try to be. I mean, it's not that I try to be vocal. A lot of those matches that you probably or that when I do deliver a very massive slap, most of those times the other person has been vocal before the match, so that's just the emotion that comes out afterwards. I'm the type of person that likes to prove people wrong, especially if there's someone that's talking that smack. I'm like, I told you so, bro. So that's where all that comes from.
how good does that feel to say I told you so?
Oh, it feels good, man. It feels fucking great, especially connecting a perfect slap. Um, so like I said, I grew up playing baseball. I grew up playing baseball 12 years, so it kind of feels like when you hit a home run, you hit that sweet spot on that bat. So you just connect that slap right on the button, right on this on the cheek. It feels like that. So just being able to see them like take damage just from the side, especially them being able to hit me first and me being able to just eat that easily and me just uh responding back with a great slap. It feels great, kid. I love it.
Was there a moment you felt like you really arrived as a power slap athlete?
Uh Probably, but most of my matches, I'm always super prepared. I'm always, I mean, every match, I'm kind of learning something new. I always come back from my match and I know that I need to work certain things differently. But my last performance in Abu Dhabi, Power Slap 9, I believe, it was against Eddie Brahmer. He's a Canadian guy. He's much bigger. He's a bodybuilder. That one, I think that one was one that I think I stood out a lot just because of the size difference, the overall performance on my part, just being able to make adjustments accordingly and not it was a type of match that I needed to make a decision on the third round where it was like, do I go all out and get that knockout? Because I did knock him down on the second round, but then I was like, I had to come back as an athlete, um, not just as someone that's gonna knock you out, but like kind of like determine whether getting that knockout or just winning by points was gonna be the smarter move, and I think that would have been I think that was one of those performances that that kind of stood out for me as a slapper.
Was that your toughest match so far, you would say?
No, no, that one wasn't pretty tough, but he definitely did deliver one of the toughest, one of the hardest slaps. But it wasn't the toughest slap, but I mean the toughest match I've had. I think my toughest match would have been with John Davis, which is my only loss. Um, but this guy was just he was in a pushover, so he was able to he got knocked down and was able to come back up and deliver some massive slaps, but I guess it was tough in the sense that adjustment that I had to make in the last round was just because I didn't want to get disqualified. In this game, if you slap a certain way and you knock them down or whatever, even if it's a slight foul, whatever, they'll disqualify you. So it was just like, fuck, do I risk it? And I didn't want to. So.
That makes sense. Um, how does your training look like? How do you prepare for a championship match in power slap?
So I'm preparing every day from my from when I first started Power Slap. I've been nonstop, but I guess I prepare for certain individuals and I slightly make adjustments accordingly. In this particular matchup, I did have to drop weight just because I'm dropping a whole weight class. So part of my camp did involve making adjustments in that to be able to cut the weight, but continue the to gain the muscle and continue to gain and maintain my strength. So just making adjustments accordingly for that. It was a lot of maybe cutting out a little bit of sugars, cutting for me in particular, I love my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so I had to cut my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, up my cardio just a tiny bit, and then just right now, just focusing on training as often as I can. I do train twice a day, and I'm active all day. Power slap is in my head all day. So if I'm out at work, I do have my I have a career. I'm also training my forearm, doing stretches in between work, doing different things. But for the most part, the way that I try to train my body for power slap is just be able to lift, run, just maintain my whole overall body as strong as it can be as a whole unit rather than just specific muscle groups. Just standing. You're gonna be standing there, getting a shot delivered. So just being able to stay strong That's been the game plan for this.
Understood. You said you have your own career. What career is that?
So I was a counselor for individuals with developmental disabilities, but I just shifted in the same organization. We're all throughout California. We're the biggest organization that funds services for individuals with developmental disabilities. But now I'm in quality assurance. So now I oversee group homes that house our individuals and just making sure that they're getting adequate their homes are adequate and they're getting the proper services that they need in order to maintain their lifestyles.
Sounds like a very rewarding job.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love it. I've been in the field for I want to say a little over 10 years now, so it's been a really good career for me.
When it's all said and done, in Power Slap and you retire, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
Uh Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
Yeah, when it's all said and done and you retire, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I mean, in terms of in Power Slap, I obviously want to make it to the Hall of Fame. Want to be able to be one of the greatest. When they say the top five greatest, I want to be on that list. I want to be able to be remembered as the guy that fucking was that had that granite chin, the guy that had that beautiful slap or whatever. Not just one thing. I want to be an overall balanced slapper, just be able to also just get invited to come back and show the ropes to the newcomers and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully we don't retire and anytime soon. We still have a long time before we retire, so there's a
You're
lot that I was done.
you're actually very active. I see in 2 years you had 9 matches.
Yeah. That was in the beginning of the career. I was fortunate enough for them to be giving me so many opportunities to be up there, and yeah, just hopefully we continue to do that. And with this title match, getting the title, being able to defend it as often as possible would be also great.
So I want to get into your match on the 27th. Um, you're fighting for the welterweight championship against Anthony Babyface Blackburn. What can we expect out of that match? Before I read you some of the things Babyface said about the match, I would like to know where your where your mind's at with this match.
So obviously, I've given Babyface all my respect. He's gained all my respect. He joined Power Slap after I think it was after 3 matches after my 3 matches after mine. He had his debut in Power Slap, and he right away called me out. And that was pretty weird because I was at the top, and even till this day, you will not hear anyone call out El Perro. No one has ever said I want Azael next or whatever. So kudos to him and everything he's done for the sport. He's knocked out the two previous he's won against two previous champions in the welterweight division, knocked out one of them. And one of those individuals was one of my previous opponents in the middleweight division. So he was able to beat him twice as well. So definitely he has gained my respect. He has the chin, he has some power. But I I've said it time and time. The power that I bring to the table, the energy that I bring to the table, the adjustments that I'm able to make, I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up with that. A lot of people may think it's just a slap, but no, I'm gonna show the adjustments that people need to make in order for to become victorious in a match. But yeah, no, I definitely it's gonna be a moment for me to be able to test out his chin. The way I do see this matchup is not me coming in as a challenger. I really see myself being the challenge for Blackburn. I don't see him being a challenge for me. But all my respect to him, he will be my pick against other individuals in the sport. But when it comes to me and him, I'm gonna be victorious in a very dominant way.
He was a cool guy. He was very ambitious. I mean, when I asked him about the match on the 27th. He said a couple things I just jotted down over here. I just wanted to share with you.
Mhm.
Um, he said he doesn't feel like you bring a surprising amount of power that he hasn't felt before. He said he is the strongest he's ever been, and he says you run into something you underprepared for. Do you have any comments about that?
No, that's gonna be another I told you so moment. Um yeah, no, I think I've faced John Davis was the previous champion at middleweight and he was much bigger than him. I faced Eddie Brahmer, he was much bigger than him. I faced other individuals that were much bigger than me as well. Everyone at the middleweight division were bigger than me, so now I'm just coming down to fight someone smaller. And I mean, it could go that the same way that it was going for me, where I was fighting other guys that were bigger than me, and I ended up beating them. But I really don't see myself. I really do think that this is gonna be a very big learning opportunity for Babyface. I don't think it's gonna be a matchup where he's gonna be defeated mentally. He's gonna gain so much from this match. But I do see myself dominating in very, very different ways. Um, and I mean, he probably does think that I'm underprepared just because I am coming down a whole weight class and I'm going straight to the championship. But he knows, I don't know, he probably is just saying it to hype it up, but he knows I've been cutting since November. I've been at the weight since January, so we're at almost 5 months that I've been at 170s, and I've been walking around the 170s. Like I've been prepared already. If they would have called me in January, I would have already been fighting for the 170s, but I've been at this weight. This hasn't been, it's not like we're here in June and we're a few weeks before the match and okay, I still need to cut this and that. We're here, man. We've been here and we're just prepared for this. I don't know if he really thinks that I'm underprepared, but if he does, it's gonna be a really bad night for him.
Understood. His last message to you, we asked him to give a message to you. He told you prepare for the toughest match you've had yet. You have a message for him?
I mean, I could say the same thing, but just if he does see this before the match, just continue to prepare, continue to train. I know he is training. Just don't get hurt. I know when it comes to our type of trainings, sometimes we do tend to overdo it, and just hopefully does not get hurt because I would hate for our match to be postponed or whatever. So that's my biggest message for him. Just come prepared. He knows we're bringing in the fireworks, and at the end of the day, me and him are cool and everything. But come June 27th, when we're up on that stage, I've already told them we're enemies at this point. Just be prepared to feel that type of energy from me. Don't expect any holdbacks. Don't expect anything else other than me getting that massive knockout. This is me making a statement. I'm getting the opportunity to come straight to the title from coming down a weight class, and I'm going to show not just the fans of Power Slap, but show our bosses. My wife's going to be there. My family's all going to be there. There's no way I'm going to lose this match. So be prepared for my massive slap. And yeah, let's give everyone the biggest show, the biggest match of the night.
I'm excited for this one, man. I wish good luck to both of you. I'm gonna be there on the 27th to watch it all go down. Hopefully we can link after everything goes down. Or will you be attending the UFC event?
I don't think so. I have some other plans the following day, so I might. I'm still kind of working that out with my wife, but we'll see. If not, we'll definitely connect afterwards. Yeah, we'll make something happen.
Well, Azael, I appreciate you for your time. I don't want to take too much of it, too much more of it, but I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Yeah,
Um, we're trying to get the fans to get to know the Power Slap uh athletes and get to like them. I feel like there's a lot of good personalities in Power Slap, so that's what we're working on right now. What's something fans will be surprised to know about you?
Well, number one is that I am in social work and I work with people with disabilities. I think that's the biggest surprise that people, even at my work, when they find out that I'm a power slapper, they're like, "You do what?" And then now they're like big fans, and some of them are gonna go out to see my match. But another thing, let's see. I know there's a big anime community. I'm a big anime fan. I'm a big anime nerd. Um, yeah. Other than that, just yeah, I think those two things are the biggest thing. Maybe also I have a bachelor's degree working on my master's. I don't know if people care that if I'm educated or not. I've seen people sit on a lot of us power slappers saying, "Oh, these guys are just blah blah blah. They just picked up some random guys, blah blah blah." Like, that's not there's so many athletes in this sport that have so much going on in their lives other than this power slap. This is just something that we obviously wanted to be our main. So yeah, we're here to be able to do that for ourselves and for the fans. And I think I feel like once people start giving the actual events an opportunity, watching the whole card, not just watching the reels that they see on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube, watching a whole card, you get to know so much about Power Slap and the athletes because they go thoroughly with what they're bringing in to the event. So they'll talk about what they've done in the previous match or two, and then what they've done in their lives and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a UFC event. So hopefully people just start beginning to watch those events.
I hope so too, man. I definitely enjoy it, and I can't wait for the match on the 27th. Azael, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, guys. This is Azael El Perro Rodriguez. Tune in the 27th. He fights Babyface for the welterweight title. Thank you so much, Azael.
No, thank you, bro. Thank you for inviting me and having me on this show.
Appreciate it, man.